What's going on, y'all? Good morning. Good morning. Grand Rising. Watagwan. Sock Posse. What else? Who else? I don't know. But that's what's up, man. What's good? Today is day 33. Day 33. Got the 33 vertebrates. Which, when you're doing your meditation, send your oxygen to your vertebrates. Send your oxygen to your vertebrates. And a good way to touch all of your joints is just kind of just put a thought on it while you take your deep breaths and stuff. All your joints. 33, 90-day, 1 hour meditation. Nothing really to say too much. Just getting it in. Got my book on. I'm going to start wearing my hoodie more, to promote my book, Massachusetts Jumping Jim Crow for Cannabis, all blacked out hoodie. Powerful book. It's only $6 because I really wanted people to get it. To hear the story, apparently I was in Massachusetts. Apparently, a lot of folks, the people in charge of handing out the licenses, claim to not understand what people went through. Black folks went through. Equity is being called a handout. But when they in legalization, they gassed me up. During legalization, I got gassed up like they really love black folks. I got gassed up like, they really going to end this war on drugs, y'all. Yo, the white man is finally admitting to this war he been having on black. Because if you like me and I'm 40 years old. So, I've been being hunted since I was 14, since a child. Probably before I was a teenager. I just didn't understand it. But, black folks in the hood, we like, yeah, they out to get us. Yeah, they own us. And then we talking to intelligent black folks, and they like, who is they? I'm like, them. They come, they arresting everybody. They just locking us up. Who's and they say, who's them? And you be like, damn, we don't know who the fuck them is. But it was still happening to us. You understand me? And our inability to explain who the fuck was doing the mass incarceration, who was doing what was this shit all about? Since children, we seen police in our face all the time. And then for cannabis to start going legal and white folks to say, hey, yo, you mass incarcerated black folks. You mass incarcerated brown folks. It's time to legalize marijuana because the mass incarceration must stop. This was the motherfucking campaign. It's time to legalize marijuana because the mass incarceration must stop. Come here, black boy. Come and get into this white cannabis shit. Hey, I bring my ass over like, word? So I run up my wife, fill out the shit, and I'm looking at the shit. I'm like, yo, this equity shit don't even pertain to me. I didn't even fill this shit out. I've been getting arrested for cannabis since 14. They said they doing something for black folks. They stopped. They opened up the cannabis, arrest and all this other shit because of the mass incarceration. They need to open up the cannabis so people can get it legally. But when you look at the equity, I didn't even motherfucking qualify for that shit. My wife was like, yo, shit, I'm filling this shit out anyway. She filled it out. She got the equity. I didn't get the shit. I came later on and got this other program called social equity that they did to pretty much drown out the people in equity, because the people in the economic empowerment program pretty much had status. These people had to be some type of, to show business prowess, to show all of these things, running businesses and business ownership and show some type of acumen in these areas. So my wife filled it out, and we got the equity. We a team, so that's what it is. But later on came the social equity programs, pretty much because they all of these companies came over with big money during the equity priority period. All of these out of towners got equity, economic empowerment status. All of these operators who weren't operating and dispensing in Massachusetts, many of them weren't operating and dispensing anywhere. They just had the money to come in, pay to play and the pay to play pipeline Massachusetts had created. But I talk about that in my book. I talk about the secret indictment I had in 2016. A group of Black and Latino officers, undercover officers, infiltrated my medical situation that I had serving the patients in 2016 when there weren't any dispensaries, weren't a whole bunch of dispensaries open to serve the Massachusetts population. So the government put it in there where you could be a caregiver and serve patients who had cards. So this Black dude came begging, giving me a sob story. I talk about that in my book. I name all of their names, all the cops' names. The judge who it still didn't. I still don't know who signed the subpoena. We don't. I mean, not the subpoena. The who signed off on the undercover investigation. The judge name is omitted, and they still got my property from 2016. But when I got here, I didn't see anybody over here. The whole Cannabis Control Commission, including Shailene Title, talking about they don't understand equity. What is equity? Shailene Title thought equity was white women getting cannabis licenses, and I said this in the forum meeting. When was the forum meeting, baby?
January 2020.
In January 2020, I said it in the forum meeting. I mentioned my book, The Massachusetts Jumping Jim Crow for Cannabis. I wrote it specifically for the forum. Because they was asking me and I couldn't get it all out. So I wrote a book to kind of get it all out because the forum was 5 minutes. And I mentioned that only people getting the equity seemed like to me is white women. But y'all didn't say when it was time to legalize cannabis, y'all didn't say, hey, we legalizing cannabis so white women and white men can have a legal means to get in cannabis. Y'all didn't say that. Y'all legalized cannabis on our backs, Massachusetts. MRCC running around, local first, Black folks first. We see MRCC is SSDP clones, Chris Crane clones. This guy set up a whole entire activist group, brought his corporate girl in, Shailene Title, who worked for his companies, enriched his pockets greatly. I call him the Colorado Six because they was Vicente Sederberg forefront, which is Chris Crane and Shailene Title, was all in Colorado together. Legalizing Colorado's cannabis thing. And you know how many Black people got licenses? 1 out of 700 licenses. 1 went to a Black person. But here it is, Shailene talking about she know equity. You can listen to people's rhetoric all the time, which makes her real creepy to me because her actions don't match the rhetoric at all. And actually, she's really diabolical. Really diabolical. During the equity period, she was like, well, the legislation says right here, if equity's not working out, we can open up another program and da-da-da-da-da. Meanwhile, they never did anything. They pretty much treated us like we had spots on our skin the whole time during this equity priority period. But she ran out to Cambridge talking about, oh, no, equity first, look, equity first. But she approved almost 300 non-equitable licenses, illegal non-equitable licenses, and never said anything. Who was the white girl who said it? Who brought it up?
Commissioner
Doyle. Doyle brought that shit up. Kay Doyle brought it up like, guys, I need to bring something up. How are these operators able to get equity status? The legislation says operating citizen. See, then now you got all these folks with the HCAs talking about, oh, the HCAs ain't fair. The HCAs ain't fair. These is individuals who got their clients who had in their possession. I mean, I remember when they was having the whole first HCA thing, they went to Vicente Sederberg. At the time, Vicente Sederberg had 80 HCAs. I know other individuals who had over 100 HCAs for their clients. You understand me? Vicente, and then Forefront Ventures also, the HCA gang. You talking about people who had hundreds of HCAs between the collective group, and we didn't even know what HCAs were in Massachusetts. We didn't even know what the hell that was in Massachusetts. We were still trying to figure that out. But these folks, collectively, I would say the ones I know, less than 300 HCAs, just between the 3 groups, 3 individuals. And they might have a lot more, but I can confidently say under 300 HCAs they got for their clients. More than likely. Because you had over 300 plus licenses go to MSOs. So the licenses, the ones we can track, the HCAs we can track. So it's just a crazy game, a diabolical game. And of course, it's big business. That's cool. Big business is cool. Capitalism is cool. But you actually brought real people into your little game. You brought real people into your game, and then you got mad when I had something to say. Shailene attacked me. Grant Smith attacked me. I'm in the equity program. I'm a motherfucking victim of marijuana mass incarceration. To say you've been victim, and that's another thing. Oh, you're a victim. You're a victim. To say you've been victimized by something, there's nothing wrong with that. Something happened to you in the past. You're in the present talking about something that happened to you in the past. Nobody can change the past. So to say I was victimized, for somebody to mention that they were violently abused or raped, does that make them a victim? Matter of fact, victims, to have a victim consciousness, you're not even bold enough to speak about it. That's having victim consciousness. So beat down when you are expressing what happened to you. That's a strong part of your victimization. When the woman or man who have been raped, the child who has been raped grows up and talks about it and can talk about it confidently, you're being a victim. No, they're actually expressing their strength in that situation where they had been victimized. We've been victimized. The numbers say that shit. So to shame black folks, be like, oh, you're being a victim. Oh, you're a man and you're being a victim. You're a victim. How am I being a victim by expressing what went through me? Is a soldier that come back from war who have PTSD, is that he's being a victim? That's exactly what happened on our shores in America. That's what people don't understand. You got black people going through PTSD, present traumatic stress. Behind this war, y'all called it a war for decades. The war on drugs, tough on crime, which means tough on my black ass. Creating the criminality. You see it. So anyway, war, no type of thing that's like preaching. They had on their own citizens, and now they don't want to address the fact that we got these mental conditions. We got this war, man. We think the government plotting on us and shit like that. Because y'all were. You had a war, $1 billion a year war against us. So that's what this book is about. And I got another book actually that we wrote. My wife and I co-wrote this next book. She edits everything I write. So we write together pretty much damn near. We got another book coming out. But I'm not gonna give you the title to that. And I might do a sequel to this one. Because a lot of raggedy shit happened after this book. A lot of raggedy shit. Arrest threats from the Cannabis Control Commission, to my wife and my family, threatening to arrest us. They invited us here in the equity program to have a business, and they threatened to not allow us to erect businesses and threatened to use and suitability and all those other things because we pointed out an illegal priority status that these folks got, and we didn't get shit. But you use my likenesses, my stories, and everything else in this whole thing. But I digress. It's time to today is trash day. So I got to make sure I finish my hour in the right time. We ain't no music today? No music?
No, I think today is going to be
quiet. Day 33. If you know, try to visualize each one of your vertebrae and bring air to it. Try to visualize each one of your joints and bring oxygen to it. Say thank you, man. Like I always tell a story about this dude, Scott Rigsby, becoming unthinkable. Scott Rigsby. Dude lost his legs, and he was an athlete when he lost his legs and maintained it being an athlete. He lost both of his legs. He began running these triathlons and such. But yo, dude, imagine you lose your leg today or tomorrow, your arm or some shit. Then it's gonna be your whole world. It's all you think about, But you gotta honor it. Honor them every day. Protect them. Put protective energy around your limbs. The body is fragile. Your joints, oxygen, air. Make sure you get that to the
unthinkable. It's not
unthinkable.
Coming. It's just straight
Unthinkable by Scott Rigsby. Check that out, Scott Rigsby. Powerful. If you having a problem getting your fat ass off the couch like I did, you know what I'm saying, when I read that book, you understand me. Go check that book out Because if a man with no legs can train, you can honor what you got. You can honor what the universe has given you, what God has given you, what the universe, God, what it is protecting you with. Honor your shit, you know. Honor it while it's here. Honor it while it's here. You can't tell me I, honor my shit. You know, if I lose it tomorrow, you know. You understand? But let's get into this meditation. Powerful meditation is always, it's always, man. Day 33. I will see y'all tomorrow on day 34. Then see you the day after that on day 35. And the day after that on day 36. All the way to day 90. Maybe even 100. Just depending on what we going through. On day 90, we will be finished our book club book, Becoming Supernatural by Dr. Joe Dispenza. Powerful book. Powerful book of healing. You know, how do you heal in the midst of trauma, in the midst of present trauma, post trauma? Okay, you have a space because that was post, and here you are normalizing a different experience. So your trauma is post. How do you overcome present trauma? You understand? Anytime I get in my car, anytime a black man get in a car, potential stops, driving while black, that shit is real. People, police killing black people over traffic stops, that shit is real. It's crazy how people try to act like that shit ain't real when the numbers don't say that, you know. And then we are all a part of a human race. So to not have compassion for anybody just because you ain't go through it, that's insanity. And you know, allowing white men to push the narrative of how we should feel, how we should deal with the constant white aggression. Nobody telling white women that. Nobody telling white women that, you know, oh, you being a victim. You know, when they talk about they having to deal with white men and the white man's patriarchy and all this other stuff. The white man's patriarchy conquered the world for white folks. And now white women want to complain about it. So, okay, if white women could complain about her having to take a side seat or a back seat to her man, the white man, you understand? We can't complain. We wasn't even allowed in the car. But yet and still white women in the equity program, white men in the equity program calling this shit a handout. You understand me? Why y'all not saying that to white women? White man. You understand? And white women, how you want something for yourself and you see this white man as a monster. The way you describe this white man, white women, he a monster. So imagine what he been to us. And in black men, what part did we play in patriarchy? We got our ass kicked. We getting our ass kicked this whole time because we like the white man is diabolically opposed to black men or some shit. That's a fact. That's a fact. Anytime you attacking boys, black boys, because you fear what they're gonna be as an adults, this is what black men got for our role in patriarchy. We got mass incarceration. We get killed in the street like dogs. We are on the opposite end of pay. So for black women and Spanish women or white women to attack black men, like we not a part of the same shit y'all talking about. Anything you talking about that white women or women period are having issues with in America, black men are facing the same thing. We go through gender discrimination. We not even allowed in these corporate offices, let alone hedged in terms of glass ceiling. Women are complaining about glass ceilings. Black men aren't even allowed in that motherfucking corporate space. You understand? If we are extremely broke back. Extremely broke back. You understand me? Extremely disconnected from, you know, they only letting them broke back black men into these corporate offices. Men that are not, when I say broke back, black men that are not threatening. You understand? Black men who do not have strong character, strong prowess. This is the only black men they letting up in that corporate America. And if you are a strong black man, they gonna kick your ass out soon. You can't have no strong black men in corporate America. They intimidated by that. So everything that women are going through with gender discrimination, women, black, white, red, yellow. Y'all have to understand that black men is going through the same exact thing. We being kept from jobs because of our gender. So when you talk this patriarchy shit, we didn't get no. See, in black folks, you have to understand, our cultures were matriarchal cultures. That's why I talk like that. That's why I say patriarchal and matriarchal. That's why I make a distinction. Because when I go into history and I go into who we are, I got trash day, so I gotta make this quick. When I go into the history and stuff like that, our societies reverenced women. Our societies had women deities. When you look at the Vedic traditions, the 10 Mahavedas, the Kali, these were first of all, these were black civilizations. You can go look there now. It's black and red and brown and all types of color folks. The same thing with America. Same thing all over the globe. You found these cultural groups of different colored folks with different phenotypes. You found black people, where you found red people, where you found brown people, where you found, you understand? I'm talking about black. I'm talking about blue black. Indigo. That's where you get the word Indy from. Indy. They said the people in Christopher Columbus's son's diary, he said the people look like the Indy people of Africa when he came here to America. So there's a lot in our history we don't know, a lot in our history we don't get. But what was I talking about? Cultures? What was I saying? I don't know. But I lost my thought. But you can rewind it and maybe build upon it when you go back or whatever. But I don't know what I was talking about. But yeah, I'd go into so many different veins. I couldn't tell you what I was talking about. But anyway, man, appreciate you for joining me. As usual, I got to get to my trash garbage day. See y'all tomorrow, day 34. Oh yeah, we was talking about gender discrimination, right? Black men go through gender discrimination, so have some compassion against black men.
Present day trauma. Present traumatic stress.
So this is what the meditation is about and such. The meditation is about how do you heal trauma? How do you go through it while you're still going through it? You understand? They still locking up black teenagers, giving them double digits for crack, cocaine, for weed. But here it is, in the white communities and white neighborhoods, they make up these places where the kids can go shoot up safely. And they got this joint called methadone mal. Nobody getting arrested. They not being hard on crime. They not giving children double digits. When I was in the 90s, coming up in the 90s, and they still doing it. My friends were getting double digits, going to jail, double digits. Imagine sending teenagers to jail for 10, 11, 12, 15 years for crack and cocaine. So this is what they was doing in the 90s, and they still doing it now. They doing that shit for weed. The young boy got 40 years for having weed, 2 ounces in a scale, selling weed at the school. He trying to sell weed. And he got 40 years while all these white folks is opening up now and allowed to sell it legally. So, we're still going through we're still going through our politically correct genocide. We are still going through the war on drugs. They ain't got shit to do you being a victim, you being a victim. How is it being no? I'm being actually you being intelligent. When you can look at the numbers and add the numbers up and be like, wow. And then this is what's happening to us. Now we have something to stand on, black community, because I mentioned it before. Educated black folks be like, who is they? Who is they? Who are you talking about? They? I'm like, they. Now we got the numbers to see. When you look at the school to prison pipeline, the studies they did on that. When you look at about the war on drugs, which is an actual $1 billion a year annually, they fed this war. They called it a war from the highest seat in the town, but they don't want to treat it like a war to heal it. They want to treat it like a war to remediate it. How do they remediate a war? A place where they just destroyed families and bridges and stuff. They fund them. They pour billions of dollars into that, trillions of dollars into that country. They undergird the country with the industry, like they did to the Japanese after we bombed Hiroshima. The Japanese lead us in technology. America built that for the Japanese. We built that. We went over there, taught them how to do that, and rebuilt their technology and infrastructure. Because every culture deserves to have an industry that they control. that they run. Here we are in America. As American citizens, the government is admitting to attacking us now. The numbers is coming out because it's advantageous to white folks. They're trying to use it as a reason to open up cannabis. And they're coming out with the numbers. Black folks are getting more intelligent. You know, they're getting into these college situations and, you know, they're getting into these corporations. And now that some of them are looking back and trying to relegate what we are going through as a people. You know, you either believe black and brown people are inherently criminal or you believe is some type of plot against us. You understand? Statistics show that there's a plot against us because we do the crime at the same rate. We smoke weed at the same rate. Which was, directed at our community. But it's been an hour, almost an hour and a half. I'm done, y'all. Had an awesome time today. So talkative in this energy. Maybe I'll go back to doing lives. My queen is doing a live tonight.
Yes.
She's doing a live tonight. Part of her Cannabis Equity Minute series. Check her out. She's very informative. If you got questions, hit us up on the inbox or hit her up on her show. Because she has a lot of answers. Love, peace, and hair grease. Got my hair all wrapped up because it's dirt. I got my hair dirt. So I just keep it all prettied up. Look at my hair did. My queen did my hair. That's what's up. Man. I see y'all tomorrow and in the live on YouTube.